It's Tiffany's Content. In New York, have people sleeping in snow once again. Okay, let's talk about it. This is very sad images that are coming out right now. They are new images and exclusive images. So if you can't handle them, please just change the channel right now because we have too many people sleeping outside. Most of them are migrants that are waiting for identification so that they can start working and find shelter. And they are bringing their children once again along with them. Families are out there and sleeping right outside. And of course you have our native homeless Americans that are out there as well, right out there in the cold. It is very cold out there. If it's not snowing, it's raining, okay? And that rain is also coming down. I'm going to show you some maps later. It's going to be a lot of precipitation coming down along with the snow. And once again, we have people bundling up, finding shelter wherever and whenever they can, as soon as they can, building tents with cardboards, all type of things. Let's look at that map and you can see all that snow is right there in New York, full covered. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, right over there by the Great Lakes. They have a Great Lake effect over there. It's very cold. And then look at this blue trough that's dipping all the way down into the south. That's cold air. Okay, looking at that current snow depth, you can see it's currently a lot of snow already on the ground and more is coming. That west coast is getting hammered and it's 2 to 3 inches falling per hour over there on the west coast, and that's moving to the Midwest, and it's going to start happening over there in the Great Lakes with all that lake effect snow. This is another map showing you all the snow that's down there, and it's a lot of snow, okay, especially over there by those Great Lakes. Look at Michigan going right into Wisconsin, and then over there by Buffalo, New York, and Rochester, New York by Lake Erie in Ontario. It's definitely cold over there with that Great Lake effect, okay? Taking a look even at the wind chill, you can see still in the negatives, definitely at the upper half of the United States, -12, -16 over in Minnesota. Look at that, -27 in Montana, -34, and then back over there by New York, it's 8 degrees, 12 degrees here and there, but it is cold still. Look at what it feels like, -20 going into Midwest, -10 over there, and then of course it's going to be negatives over there by the Great Lake with all that lake effect snow. That's definitely -10, -20 over there. It feels very cold out there, and you can see that in that frost freeze temperature. Still in the negatives, and that's dipping all the way down into the south. You can see it right there in Kansas in the negatives, still with that frost freeze temperature coming in out of Colorado into Wyoming and going up into Idaho as well. It's definitely cold with all this ice. Look at all that ice over down there in Texas, in Louisiana. It's building up, and of course in that Midwest and up there as well by the Great Lakes with all that lake snow effect in New York. Once again, you have all that winter activity over there as well that's moving up. That's going to take a toll on the East Coast, and you can see that with the current overall temperatures. It's definitely trying to warm up, but it still have that wind chill, and it's still cold outside. It's still about 20s over there in New York, but it still have snow on the ground and more coming, and it feels like negative temperatures. So again, we still have people outdoors. Let's take a look at what the GFS is going to show us, and look at that. Going to get hammered with snow as early as this weekend, okay? And it looks like it's going to clear up a little bit, but no, it's going to have lake effect snow going into next week, bringing in more cold air, and look at all that ice and even more snowstorms coming that way for New York. It's very cold, and it's so many people still outside seeking shelter, okay? I am just the messenger. I'm trying to get this information out so that everybody know what's going on in the United States right now. Again, we have those buses still coming, and then they get sent right back. There's a lot of things going on, and then we got our native homeless people out there. So I just want to bring this to everybody's attention so that they know what's going on. It's very cold out there. We have our regular homeless people out there. We have, people that are migrants that are coming, to find shelter and, homes, and things like that. So I just wanted to share these photos with you. Again, they're exclusive to Tiffany's Content. You will not see these anywhere else. So make sure that you're subscribing to my channel, because I'm going to keep you updated on what's going on in the United States with this weather activity. Okay, we're reacting to all this, cold, hazardous weather out there, and it's definitely taking a toll on what's going on in the United States as well. It's so many people sleeping outside, even up in Buffalo, New York, and Rochester, up, the higher New York too, not just the city. Okay, we have this in the entire state of New York going on right now. Okay, so I just want everybody to be aware of that. During their travels, they may see a lot of migrants sleeping outside, as well as our native homeless people. So again, of course, we have a lot of people that are helping and donating as well. But again, I'm just the messenger, and I just want this to be out there so that, when you're out there with your families, you're aware that it's a lot of hazards going on with the weather, and it could be dangerous. So let's take a look. It's the lake effect snow warning out there in New York. Okay, so expect, up to 2 to 4 inches over there by Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Definitely, more snow just coming right into New York. So this is valid information that you can share with people as well, to let them know that it is coming. Again, the way that you can help is just, providing people with information where the shelters are. So if you do see homeless people out there and you know where open shelters are, just let them know where they are so that they can, find some warm air to sleep in for the night. And they're highlighting the lake effect snow that's going up there right by Lake Ontario and coming down into Lake Erie, but definitely by Buffalo, New York, going up into Rochester and all the way up into Watertown, New York. So just make sure that you're aware of this. This is going to be very cold, coming through with all this lake effect snow, and it's going to be a snowstorm up there as well, and it's just a matter of how long it'll last. And you can see that in this video here. All that snow from the west coast is coming to the Midwest, and then we'll plummet and hammer the east coast right there in New York and cover it with snow, okay, as early as the next couple of hours, next 48 hours. So just be aware of that. It's also going to be a lot of precipitation in the next few days, definitely down there in the Gulf Coast that's sprucing up. And look at that west coast again. All of that is going to be moving in and going up towards the northeast, okay, with all of this precipitation definitely taking a toll on that lake effect snow going up into the Midwest. And it's going to be very cold and wet over there in New York. You may see our native homeless people and migrants sleeping outside. So if you know where there's any shelter, you can, just let them know, put a sign up if you don't want to go close. But there's ways to definitely communicate this information, okay? It just helps everyone. Nobody wants to see this, okay? I love everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It's Tiffany's Content. Like, share, subscribe.